years, including once his section leader, and he's been in Wind Ensemble the past 2 years. Ryan's never done solo festival in high school, yet he's doing it at the end of this month. His spring semester is senior year, which hardly anyone ever does, much less doing it for the first time. So I give him a lot of credit for taking on that challenge at this time of year. Ryan's been a remarkably consistent worker throughout his 4 years in high school. Week by week, lesson by lesson, he's clicked through his lesson books with great efficiency. And what I like best about Ryan is his smile. Every time you look at him, good, bad, or indifferent, he's got that great smile. I think it's pretty cool to have that as your default setting. He's headed to the University of Pitt to study pharmacy. Ryan Pascaret. Continuing in our trumpet section, we have Ray Davis. Ray was in concert band as a freshman and has spent the next 3 years in Wind Ensemble as a first chair player this year. He also joined Jazz Ensemble this year, and he's studied privately for a couple of years in high school as well. And Ray's another one like Ryan, who has been a great worker throughout his 4 years of high school on the trumpet. Not only has he taken private lessons, but while he was taking the private lessons, he continued with his school lessons as well to try to work to improve as much as he could. Ray is as polite and friendly as they come. He even came to me 2 days ago. He was out sick all last week and apologized for getting strep throat the week before the concert. Like it's your fault, right? And I particularly applaud Ray's ambition to make Jazz Ensemble. He stepped outside of his comfort zone with some great work last summer doing some jazz solos and with our improv camp, and he's been a most welcome addition to the Jazz Ensemble this year. Ray Davis. In the fall of 2004, I had my first McIntyre. Now, after 9 straight years of McIntyres, the chapter comes to a close. They were all good musicians, and then came Trey. No, I'm kidding. Trey's been in Wind Ensemble all 4 years, twice as a first-year player, along with this year as our section leader. He's also been in Jazz Ensemble all 4 years, including frequent solos this year with our group, and also has done 2 pit orchestras with us. Trey is what I call a closet practicer. He wants everyone to think he's too cool to practice, yet somehow he always knows his parts better than most everybody else. Every once in a while, when no one's around, I hear a trumpet in the practice room, and I look out, sure enough, it's Trey. It's a lot like his oldest brother, Shane. Case was the real deal. Case never practiced. But it's been great to see Trey's progress from third trumpet to second trumpet to first trumpet, and he's always been remarkably reliable. He's also on the varsity baseball team and is one of my ultimate Frisbee buddies. But perhaps most impressive, Trey had never flown before until we went to Disney this year. And he had the, let's call it the good fortune, to sit next to one of our other students who happened to have some motion sickness issues.
Aww.
Yeah, he threw up too, seems to be a theme for the night. I won't mention any names, but Trey turned to him and said, "Cole, would you like..." Can I get you a claw? Can I get you another air sick bag? Trey was never flown before. This is his first experience. He may never fly again. But it's a true friend through thick and thin. Trey McIntyre. And last but not least, every individual is absolutely critical in a group such as this, but there are a couple of spots that have a little bit of added pressure. Along with the lead trumpet, the lead drummer here, and particularly in Jazz Ensemble, is always on the spot. And we've had a great long line of terrific lead drummers, and Tim has filled that bill very nicely for the past few years. He's blossomed into a very, very talented drummer who we're going to miss a great deal next year. He's been in Wind Ensemble for 4 years, including the past 2 as section leader. Also 3 years in Jazz Ensemble, section leader for the last 2, and has served as a great mentor, to our incoming freshman, Ryan Barsky, who's helped us out this year as well. Finally, I was able to convince him to do Pitt this year for Susical. Tim's also been our co-president this year, and a couple weeks ago when I was out on the Virginia Beach trip with the chorus, he took over both wind ensemble and jazz ensemble rehearsals, which is not easy to do in front of a large group of ears. He did a great job with that. Another one of our talented athletes is part of the Section 5 championship baseball team. Great sense of humor, very bright enough to have learned to not always argue with me quite so much, at least most of the time. Very talented and great young man. I'm going to miss him a whole lot next year. Tim Deckett. So all of our seniors